gold in all sorts of places. Hello to you, my viewer. I have great news for you because I am the first in the world to show you this. It is the Oris Aquis Date Calibre 400 in steel and gold and a lot of green. Now, as you might know, I am a little bit of an Oris fanboy, and this is actually the third Aquis I'm reviewing on my channel. So that says something about my love for this brand. I love the looks of this watch, I love the forward-thinking character, the excellent quality-price ratio, and what I think are the best dials in its price segment and beyond. And with this very new Aquis, Oris continues this path with a very daring new color scheme. It has a bright green rubber strap, shiny deep grey ceramic bezel, a fresh green dial that goes dark beyond the edges, and gold in all sorts of places. It has a solid golden ring around the bezel, golden numbers, golden indices and shiny gold hands. And all of this gives the watch an incredible expressive look on the wrist, a bit like spring and summer in one day. And as always with Oris, the colors of the dial are stunning. Now that goes very well with that shiny bezel. It's just so expressive, it radiates superlatives. It measures 48 lug to lug and the thickness is 30 millimeters. The number crushing continues with the depth rate, which is 300 meters. And talking about big numbers, it really is worthwhile to turn the watch around. Because seen through the glass caseback is the Calibre 400. This movement was developed by Oris and Sellita and introduced in the late 2020s. Oris is so confident about this movement, they're offering a 10-year warranty on these things. The Calibre 400 offers a 5-day power reserve coming from 2 mainspring barrels. The accuracy is -3 + 5 seconds a day, which means it is within chronometer standards. And to keep it stone cold in the face of magnetism, it has a silicon escape wheel and a silicon anchor. Now, Oris told me that the fundamental ambition of this movement was to eliminate problems before they even occur, and that nearly literally meant they had to reinvent the wheel. One of the most frequent issues with automatic mechanical movements come with the ball bearings that allow for the free spinning of the rotor. Now, this is obviously an essential part of the winding system. As the rotor spins, it generates power, but Oris found a way around the ball bearings. They replaced it with a low-friction slide bearing system in which a metal stud runs through a lubricated sleeve, and that makes it more efficient and less vulnerable. It also means the watch needs service every 10 years, which is about half as often as normal watches do. Now, Oris calls this the new standard, and albeit I think that's a bit of a bold statement, they might actually be onto something here. The finishing of the movement is quite industrial, which fits their practical philosophy on watches. Now, you might have noticed more watch companies are talking about amagnetic watches at the moment. But is it any useful? Well, I actually do think so. From speakers to cell phones, we're constantly in the proximity of magnetic fields. This can affect the regulating organ, especially the escapement wheel. If this is magnetized, the accuracy of your watch is just shattered. It's quite easy to fix this if you have the right equipment, but it obviously is seriously unhandy if you don't. So, does this watch have any downsides? Well, you obviously should like green a lot. And using gold for what used to be a tool watch is really confusing in a way, so yeah, that will not be in the liking of purists. And normally I would argue against a date on a dial like this, but because it has a black date disc, it blends in nicely with the black edges of the dial. Comparing it to the previous Aquis I reviewed, it really has become a completely different watch. It's expressive and even show-offish, something we don't see very often from Hölstein. It's definitely not a tool watch anymore, it is a luxury watch, maybe even a show-off piece. And if I could spend my money only once, I would still go for the previous version. But from brand perspective, it's really cool to see them experimenting with these colors. it is something I like from a brand I like. And that brings us to a question more important than will the Queen of England reach the age of 250? Is this watch cock or is it cool? Oh wow, that is, I think, the cockiest thing we've ever seen our machine do. So yeah, that's pretty clear. This new fresh-faced Aquis is not the watch I had been waiting for, but it is a very refreshing turn for the brand. And it does live up to any expectations you can have. It's still bold, it's still very functional, it's still reasonably priced, and it's still very masculine. But it's also fresh and summerish, it's lively, and it has an absolutely stunningly beautiful dial. I don't think it is a daily wearer, but it is sure to be a great addition for the summer days. The proportions are just perfect, and the depth of the dial makes sure there's enough to enjoy at any time of day. It's a fresh face in the daylight and chic in the night. Combine that with the very impressive number-crushing Calibre 400 movement, and this Oris again delivers on its brand promise of setting a new standard at a reasonable price. So yeah, am I still a fanboy? Yes, I definitely am. And is this a great watch? Well, if you love green and gold and steel, this is definitely gonna be of your liking. For me, it's a summer watch. And a good one at it. Period. So do leave your comments on this wonderful new Oris. Keep it nice, keep it simple, and please do look at the other videos as well. See you next time!